Okay, so hello. So this is the first live session, and we're going to pretty much go over the paper that's due this week, as well as how to get into the textbook materials, how to access your book, and to make sure that you actually have access to the book or you've received your code, and how to get onto that Microsoft Office. So this is a recorded session that I will be posting most likely either Thursday night or Friday morning. I have one participant in here. Thanks, Lynette, for coming. And we may get a couple more that are going to show up a little bit later on. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I want to do is to look into the Hawks textbook material. So you should be about to see my screen. It should be popping up relatively quickly. Let's see. Okay, so hopefully you're looking at the login for the Hawks Learning. You should have by now received your access code or license code for the Hawks Learning. It seems like a lot of students were getting some for Townsend Press too, but that's not what I'm using for this class. So I'm using the Hawks Learning one. So you'll have to set up an account, which there's a way to do that. I think it walks you through that on the actual access code. And so after you set up your account, once you log in, it will take you to your Blackboard, or sorry, to your dashboard. So you should be seeing the dashboard that'll be popping up on your screen relatively soon. So on your dashboard, you pretty much see the course that you're in, and then you'll see assignments that are due. Right now, it just has the assignments that are due within the week. Once I continue adding assignments onto this, it will show you assignments that are due the following week and then assignments that are due in the future. So for these assignments, I was asked yesterday if you can work ahead. That's completely fine if that's what you want to do, but you do want to make sure that you don't go so far ahead that it's not that you're not actually reading about the same information or concept that we're doing in class, because they do line up with what we're doing in class. So once you get into this software or on this dashboard page, rather, there's several things that you can do. If you're wanting to just look at the textbook, you would go up here to where it says ebooks. And once you click the ebooks tab, it will take you to the actual link for the book. You would click launch, and I hope you're still seeing this. And then it will show you your book, and you can kind of flip back and forth the pages of the book. You can also make it, larger, smaller, etc. So this is just the textbook. This is not the actual, lessons that you'll be doing. This is just the textbook. However, once we get to the lessons, so we're back on the previous screen. Once we go back to our dashboard, when you want to actually do the lessons, you click either one of the lessons. So you can click the first one, that's the writing to discuss. And so here you see learn, practice, and certify. Okay. And so once you see the learn, practice, and certify, then you can choose to first always learn. You'll always need to do the learn, and that is just the textbook pages that you can read through. Then you can do the practice. You do not have to do the practice if you don't think you need the practice. However, there are options to pre-certify, meaning that you can do so well on the practice that you don't have to do the certify. Will automatically give you a passing grade for that. Or you can just skip to the certified. And so once you start the certified, there's questions that it will ask you. It tells you what mastery is. So it tells you to master that you'll be at 77% or higher. And so the grade that you get on the certified is the grade that I'm going to put in the actual grade book. You can do the certify as many times as you want to. There's no limit to that. So I don't want you to think, oh, I've done it twice and I made a 50 and I can't do it anymore. No, you can continue to do the certify, but after that week is over, I'm not going to take the grade that you make like the following week. So you need to make sure that you are allotting enough time. Some of these lessons are a little lengthy, and sometimes you have anywhere from 3 to 6 or so to do a week. I think you actually have about 5 or 6 this week. So just make sure that you are allotting enough time to do it. They should close out Sunday at 11:59. Okay, so that's the certified. Yes, so my student that's in here said that the book is really easy to look through, and the website is also, but they're currently struggling with 1.9. So now, once you get through the learn, don't forget that as you're going through the learn, I'll go ahead and start that. Some students don't realize that there are videos you can watch with it as well. So you click watch over here in the left corner, it will pop up a video lesson for you, where you can actually sit there and watch and get some extra examples and some extra help. But like I said, you can do it as many times as you want to, and that's the grade that you will actually see in the grade book. So you will see 1.5, 1.6, 1.9, and so forth, and then it will have an actual grade out of 100 that you got. Now, don't become overly frustrated if you're not doing the best on some of those lessons, because all of the lessons combined, plus like some of the other homework, etc., is worth about 10% of the class. So to kind of put it in perspective, your first paper writing is 10% by itself. So that means that each little individual lesson is really only worth about, 0.25% or something like that. So it's one of those things where you don't want to get behind in doing it and stop doing it, but it can kind of help and cushion as you go. So if you need to take a break, don't try to do all of them in one day. Definitely kind of space that out, kind of like we have on the pacing guide. Okay. So that's the Hawks Learning. Like I said, you will start to see others appear. I am this weekend going to be putting the ones for next week and probably the following week as well, just so you're able to kind of get those and knock those out in case you have some extra time one day where you're finished with certain things. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing that screen, and so then I will go back to the Microsoft Office. So I have several students here that have never accessed the Microsoft Office because I've been getting questions about it. So I wanted to show you how to get to your Microsoft Office. One of the questions that I've had is students will tell me, well, I clicked on the link in the syllabus and it took me to my email. Well, that's because all that is related. And so if it took you to your email, I want to show you how to move from your email to the Microsoft Office. Okay, so you should be looking at now my inbox. So this is the emails that I have received. This is what my inbox looks like, and most likely what yours looks like too. On the left side, hopefully you can see my little mouse circling next to the Outlook is a waffle. That's what they call that because it's a couple of squares inside a big square. So there's the waffle. Once you click the waffle, it gives you all the apps that you have in Office 365. So this is software. It doesn't download onto your computer. You actually have access to it anywhere that you are with an internet connection. And it uploads to pretty much like your OneDrive, a cloud, so to speak. So here is where you have your Word, your PowerPoint, SharePoint, the class notebook, Forms, Excel, Teams, which is another video conferencing software that I might play a little bit later on here, and OneNote and Sway. And so for our purposes for this class, we'll mainly be using Microsoft Word, but we'll also may dip into PowerPoint a little bit because we do have a project that's at the end. So go ahead and click that Microsoft Word, and once you click the Microsoft Word, it will give you options for either creating a new document or creating certain types of papers. So you'll see on mine, it has down here all the things that have been sent to me before and documents that I've created, as well as paper styles. And so for this class, we'll be writing in MLA format, and that's what your first paper is suggested to be written. So you can go ahead and click, excuse me, the MLA format paper, and it will help you fill in what you need to fill in. Okay, so this is kind of what it looks like. And so you'll type your paper here. One thing that you want to make sure that you do, it should save automatically. So make sure that it is saying saved up here at the top. Make sure you give it a name of the actual paper that it is. A lot of students forget to give it a name, and then they go back and they can't remember what they called it and all of that. This is important because when you want to save it, as you get ready to save it and upload it onto Blackboard, you will have to actually save as, and then it will ask you if you want to download a copy, if you want to download it as a PDF. So you have, two options for that. It'll ask you to save as, but that's saved as online, and Blackboard won't let you upload your paper from an online source. You'll have to upload it either from your computer or some type of actual device. So best bet here would be to either download a copy to your computer or to download it as a PDF. Remember, when you download it as a PDF, that means that you cannot change it. PDFs are not editable. So if you download it as a PDF and save it to your computer, and then you look at it and you see that you spelled a word wrong and you want to fix it, you have to go through the whole process again. Whereas if you download it as a copy, it might be a little bit easier to do that. So you would click the download button. It would download in your left corner. I'm just going to do download copy. You'll see it. Okay, and see in my left corner here, it has download document, and that's where it is. And then that's where I would save it and then go back and upload it to Blackboard. So that's kind of your quick and dirty on Microsoft Online, the Microsoft Office. If you need any additional help on the Microsoft Office, you can always, go to the Writing Center. I believe there's a couple of tutorials on it that you can figure out if you need to do that. There's ways to get it done. So I just wanted to give you at least that little bit of a tutorial on the Microsoft Office, since I've had a couple of questions about that. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and go to the paper overview.